What if the secret to transforming your entire life was already inside you, just waiting to be awakened? Tony Robbins' Awaken the Giant Within isn't just a book, it's a blueprint for taking control of your emotions, your values, and your beliefs so you can create lasting happiness, health, and fulfillment. In this audiobook summary series, we'll break down Robbins' most powerful strategies into clear, actionable insights, so you can stop drifting, start deciding, and finally step into the life you were meant to live. Chapter 16, Rules. If you are not happy, here's why. Hold yourself responsible for a higher standard than anybody else expects of you. Henry Ward Beecher. Each person responded according to their rules, their beliefs about what had to happen in order for them to feel good about this experience. The problem is that we have become habituated and so much accustomed to the miracles happening around us every day that we don't even see them as miracles anymore. We have specific beliefs or rules that determine when we get pain and when we get pleasure. Failure to understand their power can destroy any possibility of lifelong happiness. The truth is that nothing has to happen in order for you to feel good. You could feel good right now for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Think about it. If you make $1 million, the $1 million don't give you any pleasure. It's your rule that says, when I hit this mark, then I'll give myself permission to feel good. As long as we structure our lives in a way where our happiness is dependent upon something we cannot control, then we experience pain. I redesigned my rules so that when I feel pain and when I feel pleasure is wherever I feel appropriate based on my capacity to direct my own mind, body, and emotions. We decided that our rule that day was that we were going to enjoy this event no matter what happened. To adopt this rule is to raise your standards. Whether or not you feel like you're achieving your values is totally dependent upon your rules. Life is a variable event, so our rules must be organized in ways that allow us to adapt, grow, and enjoy. Judge and jury. What will determine our emotions and behaviors is our beliefs about what is good and what is bad, what we should do and what we must do. These precise standards and criteria are that I have labeled as rules. Our personal rules are the ultimate judge and jury. Everything in our lives, from work to play, is presided over by this judge and jury system. Are the rules that guide your life today still appropriate for who you've become? Rules are a shortcut for our brains. They help us make lightning-quick decisions. It's not that things get muddled so easily. It's that you have more ways for things to get muddled. You have only one way for things to be perfect. Most of us have created numerous ways to feel bad, and only a few ways to truly feel good. One person explained how he feels to be successful anytime. All I have to do is to get up, look down, and see that I am above ground. You could be winning and feel like you are losing because the scorecard you are using is unfair. We certainly want to use the power of goals to pull ourselves forward, but we must make sure that we have rules to allow us to be happy anytime we want. Do your rules empower or disempower you? If I decide to be confident, then I'll feel that way toward anything, and my confidence will help me succeed. Competence is another interesting rule. People have different rules for this. But the best one is, if I have done anything like it, then I know I can master this as well. Set up the game so you can win. Laurie had security and freedom as her third and fourth moving toward values. Obviously she was wired for massive pain due to the value contradiction. How do we know whether if a rule empowers or disempowers us? There are three main criteria. 1. It's a disempowering rule if it's impossible to meet. If it is so complex or varied or intense that you can't win, then it is disempowering. 2. It's disempowering if something that you can't control determines whether your rule is met or not. 3. It's disempowering if it gives you only a few ways to feel good and lots of ways to feel bad. The solution: make it easy to feel good and hard to feel bad. Ideally, create a menu of possibilities with lots of ways to feel good. If you feel angry or upset with someone, remember, it's your rules that are upsetting you, not their behavior. The first step is to realize that you have conflicting rules. The second step is to link enough pain to any rule that doesn't serve you, and replace with a rule that does. For quality relationships, communicate your rules clearly to others. There are some rules you cannot break. We have a hierarchy of rules. A threshold rule is one that you would never violate due to too much pain associated with it. There are personal standards that are, should or should never, types of rules, which you can break in the short term. Must and must never, rules are threshold rules. Rules realignment. Right now, begin to take control of your rules by writing down thorough answers to the following questions. 1. What does it take for you to feel successful? 2. What does it take for you to feel loved by whoever is important to you? 3. What does it take for you to feel confident? 4. What does it take for you to feel you are excellent in any area of your life? Now look at these rules and ask yourself, are they appropriate? Have I made it really hard to feel good and easy to feel bad? If that's true, change them and come up with the ones that empower you. Design your rules so that you are in control, so that the outside world is not what determines whether you feel good or bad. Set it up so that it is incredibly easy to feel good and incredibly hard to feel bad. Examples: I feel love anytime I give love. Anytime I smile at someone new. Anytime I am with people I love. Anytime I notice someone doing something nice to me. The most empowering rule is to enjoy yourself no matter what happens. Chapter 17, References, the Fabric of Life. Man's mind stretched to a new idea never goes back to its original dimensions. Olive Wendell Holmes. The larger the number and greater the quality of our references, the greater our potential level of choices. These enable us to more effectively evaluate what things mean and what we can do. Once again, it's not our references, but our interpretations of them, the way we organize them, that clearly determine our beliefs. What are references? References are experiences stored in our brain. The key is to expand the references that are available within your life. Consciously seek out experiences that expand your sense of who you are and what you are capable of, as well as organize your references in empowering ways. You have an inexhaustible supply of references that can be designed any way you wish. One important measure of a person's intelligence is the way in which they use their fabric of references. Do you craft a curtain to hide behind, or do you fashion a magic carpet that will carry you to unequaled heights? Do you consciously dig through your life experiences and pull out those memories that empower you most on a consistent basis? How do you use your references? Do you consciously interpret them in ways that empower you, in ways that support the achievement of your goals? The way we use our references will determine how we feel, because whether something is good or bad is all based on what you are comparing to. Oprah Winfrey was raped and violently mistreated in her youth, yet she touches millions of lives daily with her television show. We lift ourselves by our thought, we climb upon our own vision of ourselves. Horizon Sweat Marden. References are not limited to your actual experience. Your imagination itself is a source of references. Remember Roger Bannister and 4-Minute Mile Rule. We need to remember that our imagination is 10 times more potent than our willpower. Imagination unleashed provides us with a sense of certainty and vision that goes far beyond the limitations of the past. Akio Morita, Sony story, refused a deal worth 10 times worth of company to sell 100K of his breakthrough transistor radios to Belova Corporation USA, who wanted their name on the radio. In each of his failed experiment, Edison believed he was getting closer to the solution of electric bulb. You want to learn your mind. You can borrow the references of other people who had succeeded and impacted lives of people in a major way. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Albert Einstein. One of the finest beliefs I developed years ago that helped me to enjoy all of my life experiences was the idea that there are no bad experiences. Repetition is the mother of skill. Hearing the same thing again and again will condition me to use it. Use contrast to put your life in perspective. People have gone through physical and emotional hell and have come out on top. W. Mitchell, Michua Davis drunk and jumped in 2 feet deep water, instantly paralyzed neck and down. Dax, burned and blinded, became a practicing attorney. Share life story to show how life is great. Establish a simple and profound belief: I have no problems. A woman lost her husband in a gas station shooting by criminals. She had 4 small children. Fortunately, she received support from large number of people. She was willing to trust that there must be a reason, even if she is not aware of it, freed her from the most painful experience of her life and empowered her. Limited references create limited life. If you want to expand life, you must expand your references by pursuing ideas and experiences that wouldn't be part of your life if you didn't consciously seek them out. We need to consciously stand guard at the doors of our minds to make sure that whatever we're allowing to enter will cause our lives to be enriched. Expand your references and expand your life. One of the major ways to do this was through the rich experiences the books provide. Leaders are readers. Abraham Lincoln and Ralph Waldo Emerson became my coaches. Take a moment now and write down 5 of the most powerful experiences that have shaped who you've become as a person. Include how it has impacted you. Remember, everything happens for a reason and purpose, and it serves us. In order to succeed at the highest level, to achieve what I really want for my life, what are some of the references I need? Chapter 18, Identity, the Key to Expansion. Nothing great will ever be achieved without great men, and men are great only if they are determined to be so. Charles de Gaulle. Global beliefs have an expanded influence on your life. Beliefs about people in general will affect the way you deal with everyone. The beliefs about scarcity and abundance will determine your stress level and your generosity of time, money, energy, and spirit. More powerful is the core belief about your identity. It is an ultimate filter to all our perceptions. It directly controls the consistency of your life's decisions. What we can or cannot do and what we consider possible or impossible are rarely a function of our true capability. It is more likely a function of our beliefs about who we are. Identity is a set of beliefs that we use to define our own individuality, what makes us unique, good, bad, or indifferent from other individuals. Your capability is constant, but how much of it you use depends upon the identity you have for yourself. The book Pygmalion in the Classroom details the dramatic change in students' performance when they become convinced that they are gifted. Time and again, researchers have shown that students' capabilities are powerfully impacted by the identities they develop for themselves as a result of teachers' belief in their level of intelligence. In a study, a group of teachers were told that certain students in their classes were truly gifted and to make sure that they challenged them to continue to expand. These students became top achievers in the class. What is interesting is that some of these students were actually poor students. Marva Collins influences her students to believe that they are the masters of their destinies, that they are as talented as any human being who has ever walked on Earth. We all will act consistently with our views of who we truly are, whether that view is accurate or not. The Pygmalion effect also works in reverse. If you feel certain that you are learning disabled, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. A person who believes he has developed a drug addiction can change. Conversely, a person who believes he is a drug addict will return to it after weeks of abstinence. For some, surrendering his identity could be even more painful than the destructive effects of the drugs themselves. Why? Because we all have a need for a sense of certainty. Most people have a tremendous fear of the unknown. Uncertainty implies the potential of having the pain strike us, and we'd rather deal with the pain we already know about than deal with the pain of the unknown. The biggest challenge for a drug addict is, what does he change his identity to? To a recovering drug addict. When this person develops the conviction that he is absolutely clean, that he is good, that's when his behavior changes. As we develop new beliefs about who we are, our behavior will change to support the new identity. The only way to create a lasting change is to change a conviction from, I am a drug addict, to, I am a health nut, anything new that would never even consider use of drugs. If drugs are offered, he would say with absolute certainty, I am not that kind of person. That's what I used to be. Those with excess weight must transform their identity to a vital, healthy, and athletic human being. In fact, one shift in identity can cause a shift of your entire master system. A drug addict has a completely different system of evaluation than someone who considers himself as a leader, an athlete, or a contributor. Shifting, changing, or expanding identity can produce the most profound and rapid improvements in the quality of your life. How your identity is formed. Subjects were asked to make small commitments first, followed by 2 simple acts which made not volunteering out of character. They began to see themselves as donors. Your identity is limited by your interpretation of your experience. Your identity is nothing but the decisions you've made about who you are. You become the labels you've given yourself. The way you define your identity defines your life. The ultimate pain seeds of an identity crisis. Victor Hugo's masterpiece, Les Miserables story. Who are you anyway? Take a moment to identify who you are. We may define ourselves as our emotions, professions, incomes, titles, roles, behaviors, possessions, feedback, spiritual beliefs, looks, accomplishments, our past. While answering, you need to feel relaxed, safe and curious. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Write down your answer, and then ask again. Each time you ask, write down whatever surfaces, and keep probing deeper and deeper. You may have to go through several stages to get satisfactory answers. You have the power to change your identity in an instant. The power to reinvent yourself. 1. Make a list right now of all the elements of your identity you want to have. Use role models. 2. Consciously decide who you want to be. Describe in detail. Get excited like a kid. 3. Develop a plan of action you could take that would cause you to know that you are truly living consistently with your new identity. 4. The final step is to commit to your new identity by broadcasting it to everyone around you. The most important broadcast, however, is to yourself every single day. The future of your identity. While most people have to establish competence before they feel confident, I decide to feel confident, and that provides the sense of certainty to persist until I am competent. You and I need to expand our view of who we are. We need to make certain that the labels we put on ourselves are not limits but enhancements, that we add all that's already good within us. In order to understand life, you've got to understand death. We are not our bodies. Neither are we our past, nor our behaviors in the moment. We are spiritual beings having human experience. Wayne Dyer. Begin to ask yourself, what more I can be? What more will I be? Who am I becoming now? I will consistently act as a person who is already achieving these goals. I will breathe this way. I will move this way. I will respond to people this way. Forget the past. Who have you decided you really are now? Make this decision consciously. Make it carefully. Make it powerfully. You don't have to make all of the changes we have talked about here in order to transform the quality of your life. If you change any one of the 5 areas, questions, value hierarchies, states, global beliefs, identity, of the system, your life will change. This episode concludes the series summarizing Tony Robbins' Awaken the Giant Within audiobook. In future episodes, we will delve into a detailed summary of Niccolo Machiavelli's The Prince. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. See you soon.